Men aren't stepping into their power, and it's about time they did. If you're watching this video, chances are you're a young man that's ready to take hold of his life and realize what he's truly capable of. You also know that reaching your full potential is an inside job, that your results in life comes down to the quality of your mindset. I've coached thousands of men and read over 100 books. In this video, I'm going to share with you the 3 books that every man needs to read in his 20s. So let's get into it. The man who does not read has no advantage over the man who cannot read. Now, if you're like me, you might have hated reading coming out of school. The first book I read after school was at 23 years old. School made me believe that reading books was useless and boring. And this is probably because we were forced to read things that we didn't actually care about. This can lead us to associate books with boredom. So it's no wonder I took so long to pick another one up, right? Now I've read over 100 books in the last 3 years, and it's been the best habit I've ever acquired. Many of those books I actually gave up on because I didn't feel they were worth reading. But these 3 changed my life and changed my mindset. And I recommend these to every single man I coach. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Charlie, and my partner Nir and I run this channel, posting weekly videos on all things mindset, lifestyle, and relationships. So if you like this style of content, hit that subscribe button. Now back to the topic of books. Just before I introduce you to these 3, something to remind you of. Books will not fix your life. Books will give you the knowledge, and applied knowledge will actually fix your life. Reading these books and not taking any action is just mental masturbation. If you just constantly consume and never apply anything, nothing's going to change in your life. Now we've got that point covered, here's the 3 books that every man needs to read in his 20s. Stick around to the end where I've thrown a wild book card into. Coming in at book number 1 is the smallest book of the list, but it'll have big impact on your life. That is The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. It's only around 150 pages, but what is in this book is complete value. The author, Darren Hardy, is a keynote speaker and former publisher of Success magazine. He literally studied success for decades on end and found out what it actually takes to be the best version of you. Einstein said, compound interest is the 8th wonder of the world. Now, when you hear compound interest, you might associate it with investing. Here's an example. Imagine you put $10,000 into an investment account with 10% interest, and you add $1,000 every single month. After 10 years, you would have invested $120,000 of your money into that account. The interest rate was 10%, so 10% on top of $120,000 would be $132,000, right? Wrong, because the results are compounded. So the more money you make, the more money you have to make more money from. The actual compound rate of this example would be $231,000. Stretch this example over 30 years and you would have invested $360,000 of your own money. 10% compound interest on that, you would have made a return of $2.1 million. That's compound interest, it's exponential. Now map this across, you can apply the power of compounding to your own life. The consistent effort that you put into particular tasks day after day will bring you exponential returns. If you got 1% better every single day for a whole year, by the end of the year, you'll be 37 times better. This could look like doing 1 more set at the gym every single day, or taking the stairs instead of the elevator every day, or waking up 5 minutes earlier every day. This will change who you are as a person. This book is a must-read for any man to realize the power of doing that little bit more every single day. This book and all the other books will be linked below in the description. Coming in at book number 2 is Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway from Susan Jeffers. This book was eye-opening and mind-opening to how much we hold ourselves back as humans. Susan Jeffers has helped millions of people overcome fear so they can do what they actually want to do. If we actually did that of which we are capable of, we would amaze ourselves. Learning and becoming aware of our natural human instinct is the best way to overcome them. The human brain's main instinct is to keep us safe. It is wired for spotting danger and keeping us alive, to move us away from that which is scary and painful and more towards what is safe and pleasurable. As a man, you are capable of so much. We are built with the energy to go to war, to hunt, to build massive businesses. Our potential is massive, but so often we stay inside our little comfort zone, worried what could go wrong. Instead of living out of fear of what could go wrong, start living in excitement of what could go right. So often, that which you are most scared of is that which you most need to do. Use your fear as a guide to work out what you need to do to grow as an individual and exceed the previous version of yourself. Once you start leaning into the fear, you'll realize how much more you're actually capable of. In this book, Susan gives examples of what people fear the most, such as public speaking, asking their boss for a raise, or approaching a potential mate. At the core of every single fear is the idea that I can't handle it. What happens afterwards? I want you to think back to times in your past when you felt fear and you've done the thing anyway. What happened? Did you die? I'm guessing not if you're watching this video. Chances are, you did the thing you feared and you felt even better because you realized that you are capable of so much more. Think of every single time you were scared in the past and realize that you got past that and felt better for it. Now think about the future. Ask yourself, what do I have to fear if I know I can handle anything? The answer is nothing, right? Nothing would stand in your way. Everybody feels fear, so you're not alone. The way to get ahead as a man is to master your fears so you can master your life. This book is so important and that's why it made the list. Book number 3 on the list that every man needs to read in his 20s is Indistractable by by Nir Eyal. This is one of the most important books I've ever read, and definitely one you need to read as soon as possible as a man. Nir Eyal is an Israeli-born American author, keynote speaker, and investor. On the front of the book, it says how to control your attention and choose your life. Your time and attention is your greatest asset, and where you invest your time and attention is what's going to determine your future results. When you think about your best future self, I'm sure you've got great intentions. I'm going to go to the gym, I'm gonna connect with my partner, I'm gonna eat healthy, I'm gonna get my work done. But there's no such thing as future you. There's only present you right now. And if you wanna create an incredible life for yourself, you have to start investing your attention and your time where it best serves you. I used to think I was pretty good at this, but this book made me realize how distracted I am and how much potential I'm leaving on the table. Focus is the most important skill in this generation. There are thousands of things trying to steal your attention every single day. Commanding your focus away from the distractions and onto what's going to bring you the most joy and fulfillment is going to determine the quality of your life. There are two types of triggers that cause us to be distracted. The first one is an internal trigger like boredom, and then the second is your mobile phone, so your notifications. Although it might only take 30 seconds to read and reply to a message, doing this thousands of times per week is what's holding you back. It's a death of 1,000 cuts, which ultimately will determine your life. So the first step I want you to do right now is to go to the settings of your phone and see how much screen time you're using every single day. Then figure out the main apps that are causing you to be distracted and see if you can remove them or cut out the notifications. The next step is to figure out where you'd rather spend that distracted time. What's going to bring you the most fulfillment and joy in life? Then the last step is to design your life so you're exposed to less of the bad triggers and more of the good triggers. A positive trigger could be like leaving your book on your pillow in the mornings, so when you get into bed at night, you see it and you have to move it. This will trigger you to actually pick up the book and read it rather than check your phone. This book will teach you so many tactics on how to take back control of your attention and your life. All three of these books will be linked in the description below for you to grab, either on Audible or the physical copy. So they're the three books that every man needs to read in his 20s. First up was The Compound Effect, how small actions done consistently over time will create big results in your life. The second book was Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway, how to master your fear so you can master your life. And the third book was Indistractable, control your attention so you can control your life. And a bonus book that's completely changed my life and I keep going back to every few months is Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. I highly recommend you get this book on Audible. It's a mix between a book and a podcast to go deeper on stories from the book. For those of you who don't know, David Goggins is an African-American man, and despite a really tough upbringing, became one of the hardest men on planet Earth. This guy's crazy. He's done so many Ironmans and ultramarathons, as well as being the only man to do 3 Hell Weeks in the Navy SEALs. The mindset of this guy is like no one else I've ever heard, and if you can adopt just 1% of how this guy thinks, it'll completely change your life. If you haven't signed up for Audible yet, I highly recommend you do. I'll pop the link in the description below where you'll get a free month, literally free. You can listen to any of these books for free, and if you cancel before 30 days, they don't charge you. So hit that link below because these 4 books will change your life. Watch this video next on the 7 unhealthy habits that are keeping you poor and sad in your 20s. And thank you for watching. If you did enjoy, please hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps us grow this channel, and I'll see you next week.